After OpenAI revealed that its test agents had escaped isolation and reached Hugging Face's production servers, Anthropic searched its own records. Claude is Anthropic's AI assistant. In these tests, it acted as an autonomous cybersecurity agent, and Anthropic found it had already gained unauthorized access to 3 real organizations. The 2 organizations Anthropic managed to contact said they had not detected the activity. But this was not quite the same story. OpenAI's agents found a new vulnerability and forced their way out. Claude was given an open path by mistake. That difference points to a wider problem. A cyber-capable AI may not need to rebel or even know it is attacking the real world. It may only need a goal, useful tools, a false picture of its surroundings, and a door somebody thought was closed. 2 days after OpenAI's disclosure, Anthropic began reviewing old cybersecurity tests and stopped its current evaluations. By the following day, it had found all 3 incidents. Some dated back to April. Anthropic examined 141,000 runs, and 6 more. It found 6 runs across 3 incidents. 4 affected the same organization. The other 2 reached 1 each. Anthropic had not caught the attacks as they happened. It found them retrospectively, because another laboratory had disclosed a similar failure. The tests were meant to reveal what the models could do. The records also revealed what they had already done. Each incident began inside a Capture the Flag exercise, a hacking game built around a fictional company and a hidden secret, the flag. The model must break into another machine and retrieve it. The route is left open-ended because the test measures what the model can work out for itself. Claude was told this world was a simulation with no internet access. But a misunderstanding and a configuration failure meant live access was available. Neither Anthropic nor its evaluation partner knew the path was open. Claude therefore assumed that anything it could reach belonged to the game. Real websites and company systems looked like realistic props. It pursued the flag through familiar weaknesses: weak passwords, exposed credentials, unauthenticated pages, and basic database attacks. Anthropic says Claude found no sophisticated new vulnerabilities in these incidents. The danger was the agent's ability to keep pursuing the task across a boundary nobody meant it to cross. In the first incident, the fictional company shared its name with a real website. When Claude could not reach the pretend target, it found the real company and assumed that was the intended destination. Across 4 runs, Claude Opus 4.7 obtained credentials and reached a database containing several hundred rows of production data. This was the most serious incident. In every run, the model's reasoning eventually recognized that the system was probably real. In 2, it decided the real company must still be part of the exercise. It continued. Claude had noticed evidence that challenged its assumptions. Its assigned objective gave it a reason to explain the warning away. The second incident began with fictional setup instructions, telling employees to download a Python software package that did not exist. Claude saw an opening. Publish a package with that name, and the pretend company might install it automatically. Claude Mythos 5 created a booby-trapped package and published it to a real public library for Python software called PyPI. The package stayed online for roughly 1 hour and ran on 15 real systems. One belonged to a security company whose scanner routinely installed new packages. Claude's hidden code captured the scanner's credentials, then used them to reach more of the company's infrastructure. That company was not Claude's intended target. The harm spread because a tool created for the fictional exercise became real software on a public service. Early in the run, Mythos 5 reasoned that publishing the package on the real internet would be an attack. But unfamiliar security certificates, and even the date, 2026, persuaded it that the world must still be staged. It treated real automated scanners as scripted characters in the game. The model noticed the contradiction. Then it rationalized it away. The third incident complicates the picture. An unnamed research model could not reach its fictional target, so it scanned roughly 9,000 alternatives. It compromised one company through an exposed page and a basic database weakness. Later, the model realized that the company's cloud account had no connection to the exercise. It concluded that the target was real and stopped. Opus 4.7 continued. Mythos 5 recognized the danger, then reasoned its way back into the simulation. The newer research model eventually stopped, but these were isolated incidents, not a controlled experiment. They do not prove that newer models will reliably make the safer choice. Anthropic says more testing is needed. Anthropic found no evidence that Claude invented a malicious goal or deliberately tried to escape. The models pursued their assigned flags while holding a false belief about which systems belong to the game. Anthropic describes this as closer to a failure of the test harness and its operation than a failure of the model's alignment. These were also evaluation models running without the normal classifiers and monitoring used in generally available Claude products, although they retained model-specific safety training. Anthropic says its public product safeguards would have blocked the behavior. That is Anthropic's current account, not yet an independent finding. The OpenAI and Claude incidents are different. One involved agents discovering a novel route out, the other an internet route left open by human error. But both reveal that safety does not live inside the model alone. It also depends on the task, the tools, what the model believes about its surroundings, the boundaries around it, and whether anyone notices when those boundaries fail. The nightmare version of AI safety imagines a machine clever enough to defeat every barrier placed around it. These incidents suggest a more ordinary possibility. The machine follows its instructions, the barrier fails, and nobody realizes that the test has become real.
Hey, this is Adam from The Wider Why. We make clear, engaging videos about science, history, technology, and more. Like and subscribe to see the bigger story.